So, folks, Mark Goldbridge, Paul Parker. Paul's opened a can of worms there, hasn't he? Hey, he's been having a pop at Goldbridge for about a week now. He's having a pop at all YouTubers saying that they're doing United absolutely no good. They're constantly having a moan and having a whine about certain players, maybe about the manager, maybe about the board, maybe about the Glazers, and it's having a negative effect. But he really concentrated on Goldbridge, who's got one of the biggest followings of the lot. Anyway, he's really put the cat amongst the pigeons yesterday because he's saying, no, Goldbridge, he's well out of order. And why is he doing it anyway? Why has he set up his channel? He's making his money on the back of Manchester United. And it's wrong, because when all comes to all, he's a Nottingham Forest fan. Well, that's irks Goldbridge, isn't it? He's come out today and said, I don't know why he's saying that. It's really upsetting. Yes, I lived in Nottingham. I think he said my dad was a Chelsea fan. My mum was a United fan. And I think he said my dad used to take me to Forest matches because we lived at Nottingham. But my granddad was a Manchester United fan and used to tell me stories about Duncan Edwards and the Busby Babes. He said, so I've always had an affinity to Manchester United. I read something today, said he started his YouTube channel after the World Cup, was it in 2016? And he started posting on YouTube about various football teams, but realised he was getting more traffic from Manchester United. So he concentrated on Manchester United, and he said, so was it the United We Stand website? I think it was. I may be wrong. I never followed it, I must admit. Now, myself, I'm in my early 60s. I'm even older than Mark. Now, I've supported United all my life, and I do mean all my life. I supported them in the first division, when they went down to the second. Luckily, they came up pretty quickly. All the years of famine, supported them all the way through, and do to this day. Some might not be and might not call me a true supporter, because I don't even go to watch them anymore. My story is, as I say, I'm early 60s, got a wife, got 3 kids, got 3 grandkids, one that I spend a lot of time with to help her parents. So I'm in demand, if you like. I'm holding 2 jobs down, and money, what United can be tight anyway, so it's difficult to get there. But that said, as I say, supported them all my life. Now, some will say, you can't support them from an armchair. I disagree. If you've got a team, you've got a team. Mine has been since I was 6 years old. As I say, I'm in my early 60s now. I've supported them through everything. I have had a season ticket in the past. It wasn't mine. I shared it with a friend. We take alternate games. I was lucky. I went in the real glory years, the years of Ronaldo and what have you. I did it for 6 or 8 years. Unfortunately, times got hard and he had to sell his ticket. And that's what he did. So that ended. But in fact, he used to have 2 tickets because he used to take me daughters and my son. They used to have alternate weeks with me. And it was grand. We loved it. But, as I say, still support United. I'm a bit like Goldbridge. I knock players on a regular basis. But I praise where praise is required. I'm one of the few, and it is the very, very few, that thinks there was a case to keep Greenwood here. A lot might disagree, but you'd have to listen to reviews and listen to why I say that. But you'd have to look at past videos on this channel. I'm one of the many that at the moment is having a pop at Onana. I think I've done videos asking, is he the top banana or an imposter? At the moment he seems like an imposter, but I'm hoping and thinking he will come good. I've also done a video asking, is he the black Barthez? I hope to goodness he's not. I do hope he comes good. Love Eric. I'm with Eric all the way. I thought he handled Ronaldo correctly. I think he's handling Sancho correctly. I've got no time for a couple of players within the squad. I'd love them to get rid of Iggy today. He should have gone 2 or 3 years ago. For those that don't know, the ones that follow me will know, Iggy is Martial. I call him Iggy. It's, you know, with Martial, you'll give him 10 games. Not that he ever gets 10 games because he's always injured, but give him 10 games. Game 1, world beater. Games 2 and 3, not bad. Games 4 to 10, absolutely rubbish. Is a complete and utter passenger, i.e. the Iggy connotation from Iggy Pop, the passenger. I'd also get rid of Wan-Bissaka. There's loads of reasons. 1-on-1 he's not bad, but there's loads of reasons he should go. And so many people, even United fans, are telling me that he's better than I'm seeing and he's got better last year and stuff. I tell you what, I'm not having it. I will tell you why if anybody asks me further down the line, but I'm not having it at all. They'd be the first couple I'd get rid of. There's others I'm worried about. I worry about Anthony. A lot of money. He's not producing. Hopefully he will. He is getting better. Hopefully he'll come good, but not sure. We've made lots of mistakes in transfer window. We spent too much money on too many players. Too big of contracts. That's why they don't want to leave. I've gone through all of that. But I also give praise where praise is due. And all I want to do is praise. I for one love Ten Hag. I for one think we've got problems in the boardroom and we've had them since David Gill has left. Fergie going was a big, big loss. I would suggest Gill going was an even bigger one. We've got problems there. We're going to have problems until these Glazers go. Maybe Jim coming in, old Jim Ratcliffe, may help. He may not. Only time will tell. That is if he gets in. You never know what's going to happen with these Glazers. I want them gone. But I still support my team and always will. I don't do what Mark Goldbridge does. I don't do stuff every single day. I don't spend the money, as you can see on the channel. There's no fancy graphics, no fancy music. Lighty's even beaten us now. I've not got all the spotlights and all that he uses. Nothing. All I do is talk. It's not just about football. That's where we differ. I talk about United maybe 2 to 3 times per week. I do a bit of a verdict after every game I've watched. And any news that comes that they talk about on TalkSport that's relevant to United, I have an opinion on. But I also talk about other football teams. I even praise some football teams that United fans won't be seen praising. But if praise is due for anything, I give it. If a knock's due for anything, I love to give that. My channel's called Britain's Grumpiest Oldgate. That's what I am. I love to moan. I call everybody from all backgrounds that I think are crap at what they do. Those that are stealing the living, that have got no talent. But I do it through media, through politics, TV, newspaper, radio, everything. I do it in sport. I hate these football players on £100,000 that can't trap a ball. That's control it, by the way, for those that don't know. That can't pass a ball. That take a corner and can't hit one of their own men. Can't beat the first man on the near post. It does me head in. I had players, I used to play centre forward. I had players I went to school with at 10 and 11 that could hit my head as a centre forward 3 or 4 times, 5 or 6 times out of 10. We've got players now on 100 grand a week or more that can't do it. It's madness. It's madness. Who do I love in football? Loads. Eric was the king. I love loads of great players. Managers, Fergie, brilliant. Cloughy, brilliant. Shankly, brilliant. And a couple of others they've had there at the other red side of the East Lancs. Martin O'Neill, better than people think. People don't realise how good he could have been. He never ever got the big job. But there's good uns there, there's also bad uns there. I call them all. But I give praise where praise is due. What's the reason for this message? The reason is this. Goldbridge has been told to us by Parker as a Forest fan. Goldbridge hasn't said he's not, but he said he's a United fan. And I've read 3 pieces now, and not on one piece does he say, I am not a Nottingham Forest fan. So I think we've got a guy there that set up a channel which is well liked and well watched. And I know loads aren't going to leave him. I do know that. But he's done it on the back of my team. He's got millions of subscribers, loads of people watching him. A lot of his content is good. Since I've started YouTubing 5 months ago, I've seen bits what he's done. Not a lot, but bits. And I don't mind some of the stuff he does. I really don't. But I don't like the idea of someone having 1.5 million followers when he's really not even a Manchester United fan. He might go to more games than me. He might have more money than me. His setup might be better than mine. There's no might about it. It is. He might be more professional than me. He is. But at the end of the day, if he's a Forest fan, I'm thinking, he's conning some people there. That's not how it should be. Anyway, if anybody wants a different channel, different from the norm, yeah, it's all on the budget. It's all done by its bootlaces. I don't have a script. I don't talk from anything. There's no graphics, as I say, no music, no fancy anything. And we don't talk about football every day. I talk about things like politics, but in a very, very small way. The conflicts in Israel now, but in a very, very small way. I talk about people in the newspapers, on the TV, on the radio. I talk about things like soaps and This Mornings and the Loose Women's, the Philip Schofield. All stuff you guys wouldn't like, but your wives might like it. But there's a lot of sport on here. I listen to TalkSport on a daily basis, at least the headlines at the top of the show. If there's a subject that interests me, I talk about it later in the daytime. I do, on a bad day, 5 or 6 messages. On a good day, I might do 11 or 12. Some are 1 and 2 minutes long. Some are 10 or 15 minutes long. But I give varying content on varying subjects. And it's all just my take on things. Many people won't agree with much of what I've got to say. No problem. You don't have to watch me. If you don't agree, you can comment and let me know. I don't mind it. What I do on this channel is, I say to everybody, you can comment till your heart's content. You'll never have your comments wiped out. You'll never be blocked. You'll never be banned. Because it's all about debate. The thing is, I like people to have an opinion. Because I've got one. And I don't mind people letting mine. If you don't agree, tell me. I don't have an opinion to upset people or to get people's backs up, but I tell you what I believe to be the truth. But bear in mind, I go under the moniker of Britain's grumpiest old git, and I am, and I moan a lot. And although I moan a lot at my beloved United, I'm not after them. I want them to do well. I want us to win trophy after trophy after trophy, like we used to. I want to get back to the norm. I don't like City and Liverpool doing all of this. I want it to be us. We're a fair bit away from it at the moment, but I'm hoping under Eric we're going to get better. I'm hoping the Glazers might leave and we might get some proper people in that are in the boardroom, and then we will get better. And we might look at the footballing side rather than the commercial side. Yes, commercial's important, but football should come first. And for the last 10 years, we've lost sight of that. So if there's any people that watch Goldbridge that are unhappy, come and give me a go. You might only get 9 to 12 or 15 minutes a week on United. I do a verdict on most games that I watch, even though it's from the armchair. I give praise where it's due. I knock where it isn't due. I give verdicts on other football stuff. I do a cover of other football matches, other football teams. I do a lot of football, a fair bit of rugby league. No, you probably won't like that. It's only a northern game. In that game, I support the Wire. You might have heard of them as Warrington. You might have heard of them as Warrington Wolves. I'm not having that at all, the Wolves bit. I'm not having. I'm an old fogey. I don't like these modern terms. I don't like them. So for me, it's the Wire. When I was a kid, near to a grasshopper, they were called the Wire. In my mind, they still are. Do a fair bit on horse racing because I love horse racing. Do a bit on golf. I cover any sports, but they're probably the main four. And as I say, I cover everything else. All the other things I do, you might not be interested in. But your wives or partners might well be. Then again, you might watch something that I do that's nothing to do with United. You might think, that's not bad, I don't mind that. Anyway, the channel's here for everybody and anybody. We're only 800 or 900 subscribers in, but I've not pushed the channel yet. We're only 5 months into the channel, and I will get thousands in the end. Maybe not the million and a half that Mark has got, but maybe, just maybe, Mark's gone under false pretences. Maybe he's not, I don't know. I don't mind if he supports Forest and United. I don't agree with it. This bit about having a second team, I don't agree with. I've never had a second team. No, I don't get that at all. But some people do. But if he's not really a United fan and he's only cashing in on the back of the mighty Reds, just because they are that cash cow, which they are, we're the world's biggest team, we've got the world's biggest fan base, and we like to have an opinions, and we like to watch things about United, and we like to ring in and text in and message in to our heart's content. So he's got a cracking captive audience there. I'm not trying to nick all his fans. I'm not going to nick a million. That's never going to happen with me, is it? And as I say, I don't do content daily on United. It might only be 2 or 3 times a week. After Christmas, I'll have a bit less work to do in one of my other job. So what I'm going to look at doing after Christmas, probably on a daily basis, I'm going to do something on United. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to troll the News Now section, and I'm going to comment on some of the stories in the News Now. Most of them are crap. You know, with United, there's story after story. Every day you go on Man United News Now, it'll tell you 15 to 30 players we're going to sign. We signed none of them. We're after everybody according to that. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick out the ones that I would like us to sign, and the ones that I wouldn't like us to sign, and the stories that I like the sound of, and the stories that I don't, and I'm going to comment on them. I've not got the time to do that at the moment, because as I say, I'm running 2 jobs, and this is taking a hell of a lot of my time, and I'm covering lots of subjects. But in time, after Christmas, that's what I'm looking at doing, looking at exploring. Anyway, for now, if you're a United fan and you watch old Mr. Goldbridge and you've watched this, thank you very much. If you want to pop in here now and again and have a look, you're quite welcome. The titles are always on the screen. If you do on the search bar, it'll tell you what I've done. I mean, I've done one on Bill Shankly. Just put Bill Shankly in. If you're a Liverpool fan, you'll love what I've said. If you're a United fan, you probably won't. So that's all already telling you I'm bigging him up. But at the end of the day, if I love somebody, I tell people, regardless of their allegiances and alliances or wherever they play or whatever they do, if I think someone's crap, I do the same. So I'll bum people up from maybe Liverpool or Everton or wherever, but I'll also knock them down when they deserve it, the ones that do deserve it. I might knock United players, but I'll bum up the ones that deserve it. It's how I run the channel, it's what I do. But what you'll always get with the opinion is an honesty. It's an honest opinion as I see it. As I say, many of you might disagree, but at least you'll get an honesty. And what I don't do is I don't call United or United players for the sake of it, or just to divide opinion, or just to get more traction and more people watching. I don't do that. Whatever I say, I believe in. It's what I believe in. You may not. but I do. And if you don't, just tell me. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Anyway, nice to have spoken to you if you're somebody that's watched this that's never seen it before.